Imagine this: a people with whom you're not familiar show up at the doorstep of your home, which resides on your property. A massive plot of land, huge acreage, full of trees, flora, fauna of various types. And this property has been within your family for generations. Let's go deeper, for eons. You can't even recall how far back. But these strange folks, unmelanated, show up, and they show up with weapons in strong numbers, violent, loud, raucous, and they come in to fight you, even to destroy you for your land. And they succeed in overtaking your land. And then perhaps force you to now work for them to tend to your land, which they now call their own land. Fast forward some generations, and you end up somehow being able to purchase land. And the purchase of this land gives you a sense of security, obviously a sense of ownership, perhaps a sense of power, a sense of pride to some degree, and you go through all the proper channels based on the legal system that these people, unmelanated, who came over some generations ago and overthrew your family and many other families, the legal system that they have created for ownership and insurances and loans and all of that good stuff. They've created a whole system that you had and have to go through in order to make this land acquisition, this land purchase. So you follow the channels, you do it, and you get your title, your deed to this property with your name on it. You went through all the assessments, you know the value of the land, and it's good. And so you pay your taxes on that land faithfully. You've not begun to develop anything on it yet because you're waiting to do that closer to your retirement, because that was the overall goal, was to acquire this land, to purchase it for your retirement home. That was your dream. And so maybe 2 years before retirement, you start to consider your plans for developing that land. And you show up to the county courthouse to pay your yearly taxes, as you have been doing for years since you purchased the land, only to have the county official inform you, I'm sorry, but that plot of land is not in your name. And you ask, well, how is that? Well, that plot of land was sold 7 months ago, and your name is nowhere in our records associated with this file. And you have receipts of past payments. You have the original deed that was given to you, and or whatever you've got. You've got documents. And you show this to that county official, and they say, well, obviously there's some sort of discrepancy and our hands are tied. There's nothing we can do. You would have to take the matter to court. Now, mind you, court, the legal system, is run by the same unmelanated people who came in very strong numbers to overtake your family some generations ago and to acquire their land forcefully, forcing your family to work the very land that had been taken from them forcefully. The same unmelanated people who created the system of land acquisition and all of that good stuff, and the banking and all of that ties into the land acquisition, insurances, all of that. And it's the same group of melanated people who run the judicial system in terms of these various offices for records keeping, the clerks and the judges and the lawyers and so forth. And so now you have to file a case in their system, and you implore them via their system to consider your case, your matter. And you are first told to retain an attorney. And of course, that's going to require money up front. And you've got to also file court documents, and you're going to pay court fees to even have your case heard. That's paid usually up front. Attorneys are known to drag things out because first and foremost, they've got to do discovery. That's after they've talked to you. And they might give you 1 hour of free consultation, but any other conversations, emails, text messages, what have you, they're charging you incrementally. And if their rate is $500 an hour, even a 1 minute phone conversation or 1 second text is going to be charged at a 15-minute interval or 15-minute increment of that $500 per hour fee. So you're getting ready to pay these folks some nice money just to send you a smiley face via text. And this is run by the unmelanated people. So the issue is this overall. We're dealing with a system that obviously works against us as melanated people. And we've got something that seems to be an epidemic right now, perhaps even a pandemic, because it's happening all around the world. Whereas people are purchasing land and they have all their documents, all their ducks in a row, proof of payment of taxes and insurances and everything, and yet somehow their land is taken from them, sold right from under them legally. Did y'all hear the word? Legally. It's done legally. I legally own something and I have receipts, yet someone can legally take it from me. And I'm left just to throw my hands up. All the money I've invested, gone. Nobody's trying to recompensate me. All the time that I've put into this, gone. No one's trying to help me get that time back. The paper trails only go so far. Or from that, people are only willing to go so far with the investigation to help me prove my case. So I am supposed to just lay on my back and take it, or bend over and take it. And I hate to use those type references, but y'all get what I'm saying. This is some interesting stuff. And the same tactics that were used in the past are the same tactics that they're using now, which is this. They're washing the paper. The deed, the land acquisition is represented in this way. Something was sold to somebody, that somebody then sells it immediately to somebody else. That somebody else gets it notarized by somebody else, who then sells it to somebody else, who gets another notary in another state or another country somewhere. And it's then picked up by this large conglomerate. And then this large conglomerate decides that they're going to put it in the name of a trust or something that requires all type of other aspects of legalities just to break into, to get down to the bottom of things. And again, the very innocent person who was attempting to utilize the system as they perceived it to be designed, to acquire a plot of land and to do right by the county, by the state, by the nation, to pay all associated fees, is now left frustrated, discouraged, perhaps broke, and broken. So my bigger question is this. Is it worth it for us to try to acquire land via these people's means? Or do we just let things shake out a different way? Do we allow the Most High's hand to show itself in a different way? That's the question I have. Because there's a lot of investing in things that we can't even hold on to. Right now, as of February 14th, what this world calls Valentine's Day, or this nation calls Valentine's Day, the news was showing that car repossessions, they were high toward the end of 2024, but they seemingly are even higher now. That's an investment, but a lot of people are losing that investment. Homes, because of the price of these homes, along with the interest rates, along with property taxes in many places, like, for example, Chicago, Cook County, some of the highest taxes. LA County, here, LA is high. California in general, but particularly Southern California, I would say anywhere from San Francisco on down to San Diego, yeah, it's high. People are losing their investments in these properties, even getting caught up in these HOAs. I mean, that's nuts in and of itself. Relationships, even though there's no purchase amount in that, but there's a lot of investment in relationships, and people are losing that investment as well. So how much do we invest, you all? How much? I understand trying to build up our banks, so to speak, fattening our pockets, as a lot of the younger folks say. I understand that. But how much do we then roll into investing in these tangible things? I'm not sure about that part. I'm just not sure about that part. Shalom.